Hey guys, Bird Yugioh here. So it's been a while. Had a lot of things going on, been moving, and I only just got my internet hooked up today. So I will be posting a lot more frequently than I have been in the last 2 weeks. But yeah, I wanted to come back with one of my more popular decks on this channel, and that's Kaiju. This is just a basically blind, go second, break your opponent's board, no matter what. Pretty much guarantee you'll break any board with this. Obviously, that's more like a combo-based deck with monsters, because if your opponent just sets 5 and passes, there's not much for you to break there. You do play some spell trap removal and some really good cards against decks like that, but you have a better chance, obviously, against like some of the meta and more combo-based decks. This is a crazy good deck. So yeah. Let's get right into it without further ado. So to start off with, we play the best Kaiju for many reasons. So he's the lowest attack, so you can give him to your opponent, but actually the main reason we're playing this at 3 is because his effect for if you get him on your field is extremely good. Basically, you just remove 2 Kaiju counters from anywhere on the field, negate the activation of a card or effect, and banish it. So this one is really nice to have, again, on your field. And again, he's got the lowest attack, so even on your opponent's field, not bad. The ones you usually want to give your opponent are Humongous or Godarla. Godarla is a little more expensive now, so you don't have to play it. But they're both, don't really have that good of effects to make you not want to give it to your opponent, basically, because they can use all these effects too, especially the quick effect ones on your turn. They can use them if you have like Kyoto Waterfront on the field with some Kaiju counters. They can use some of these effects, so you got to be careful of that. But otherwise, these just special summon to your opponent's board, tributing any monster they have, such as removal of any card. And then the card I really like, 2 Radiant. Now this one, you just remove 2 Kaiju counters, and you can just special summon a Radiant token with 2800 attack. So by having him, you just get, and obviously 2 Kaiju counters, you just get a free 2800 attack monster on board. Really nice. And then we play 2 Doggoran. Now this one, you remove 3 Kaiju counters, and you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. He can attack, but other cards you have can, but it's basically just blowing up the board. And then we play 2 Thunder King, really high attack one. This one is nice. You can, again, remove 3, and then your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated for the rest of this turn. And this card can make up to 3 attacks on monsters during the battle phase. So really nice one. And then 2 Jizukuru. Now this one, when a card or effect is activated that targets 1 card and no other cards, you can just remove 3, negate it, and then you can also destroy 1 additional card on the field. So they all have very good effects because you will actually be using their effects with this deck. And again, this will just get rid of, you're going to get rid of a monster. You're going to give your opponent one of these for sure and get rid of 1 monster they have. So the biggest, baddest monster they have is gone with any of these, and I'm pretty sure it's got to be in the 90 percentile that you're gonna see at least one of these in every hand, because you just play so many of them. So, and then for our normal summons, because these are all special summons, we play 3 Inspector Border, and then really good against back row heavy decks, 3 Denko Sekka. This, again, if an opponent sets 5 and you happen to have Denko Sekka, you should win. Obviously if they have a negate the summon of Denko or something like that, that'll hurt. But otherwise, if they just have like disruptive kind of traps that they're playing, they're going to all be just stuck there. So those are the normal summons we play, and then there's just an additional special summon, Pankratops. We're going second, always. obviously unless, game 2 or 3 your opponent makes you go first, but otherwise you're just blind going second, and Pankratops is a good one for that. So that is all the monsters we're playing. For the spells, playing of course 3 Kyoto Waterfront. This is one of your ways of holding counters, and it also is going to be able to add a Kaiju monster from your deck to your hand. And then also you can protect itself by just removing a Kaiju counter from it. But anytime a card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you place a counter on this card. So you'll get, and it's maximum of 5. So you can get to that pretty quickly. And then Kaiju Files is another way of getting Kaiju counters, because when a Kaiju monster is special summoned from the hand or graveyard, you place a Kaiju counter on this. That's mainly all it's used for. You can also send this card with 3 or more Kaiju counters to the graveyard, and then you can add any Kaiju spell and trap from your deck to your hand, which is always going to be Kaiju Slumber. This card just blows up the board, destroys all monsters on the board, and then gives your opponent a Kaiju and gives you a Kaiju, anyone that you choose. So amazing card. And then again, since we're going second, we are also playing Dark Ruler No More. It's another card that just simply says whatever your opponent has on the field is just stopped. Basically, Dark Ruler No More is really nice and just obviously a going second deck. In a Kaiju deck, Owner's Seal is a nice little tech card. It's not once per turn, so if you do happen to get both of them, you might be able to use both of them. But you're just returning control of all monsters on the field to their owners. So obviously you give them a Kaiju, and then you get it back with Owner's Seal. Really nice. And then just some one-ofs, playing Mind Control. Harpy's Feather Duster, destroy all spells and traps, and then Regeki to destroy all of your opponent's monsters. And then for the traps, we do play traps, but we're playing evenly matched. Obviously, again, blind going second, we're going second every time. So this just gets rid of your opponent's field. Whatever they put on there, it's getting rid of with this. And then I decided to throw in a Red Reboot as the 40th card. Just again, something else, Harpy's Feather, Red Reboot, even Pankratops, and then Denko Sekka. For those trap heavy decks, you want something. And obviously this is good for going second as well. And that's all the cards in the main deck. An extra deck honestly doesn't really matter. You're hardly ever going to go into it, but you want to play one always. Underclock Taker, it's easy enough to just be able to boost one of your monsters up because you're choosing where to put your Kaijus. So you'll put one, obviously right below him, and then be able to get some pretty good attack. So just one Underclock Taker. And then the Nightmares, Cerberus, Phoenix, Unicorn. Again, you're really not going to be going into them, but again, a going second deck, these are helpful sometimes. IP Masquerena. And then the Topologics, again, these are easy effects to get off. Not easy to make with this deck, but they're easy effects to get off because you choose where you special summon these, and they have arrows that point up. So you can special summon to your opponent's field, into the zone, and then be able to use their effects, the Topologics. So those are nice. Again, if you can make them, you probably won't, but and then just some Link 4s, Appaloosa, Abomination, and Burl Sword. But yeah, that's the deck, guys. Again, it's mostly just a going second main deck. You really don't need much of the extra deck. You don't even have to play an extra deck, to be completely honest, but again, you should. But yeah, it's a really good deck. I might post some replays. Let me know if you guys want to see those. Do some test hands, replays of playing this deck online. But yeah, that's the deck, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.